Hey, good morning. It's Wednesday, December 9th. Thank you again for being with us this morning. I want to explore the three gifts that we talked about yesterday: the value of the smile, the precious gift of a listening ear, and the power of pleasant words. We'll take them one at a time because they're that important. We'll talk about the value of the smile today. And I'm not talking about the things that facial muscles where we do something to force a smile. And we're not just looking at the outer evidence of it, but what does the smile represent? That brightened face. What is that about? I'm going to read from Bruce Waltke's commentary, his translation of Proverbs 16:15. In the light of the king's face is life, and his favor is like a cloud of spring rain. In the light of the king's face is life, and his favor is like a cloud of spring rain. The wording for light here and the placement of light and the king's face has very much to do, and is quoted other places in the Hebrew Old Testament, is that light has to do with God. Light is hope. Light is the first thing that God created. Jesus' words, his life, he was the light of life. Proverbs talk in other places about the way of the righteous is like a bright shining sun. So the light here is significant. And light coming from a king's face, that's life, because it represents the wonder of God. Now we can smile at acquaintances and people that we meet along the way, and that's great to have that outward countenance. But there's a specific reference here. Parents, one of the weightiest things that we have to understand and come to grips with is that to our children, we represent God. We're not God ourselves, but we are his representative. And what are we going to represent? Are we going to represent darkness, which means condemnation, which means you're not good enough for me, which means my worries and stuff are so overwhelming I can't have time for you? Or am I going to show them that God has given me life? My sins are not any more connected to me in terms of judgment. I am free to love you. I am free to show you the beauty of God regardless of your behavior. Doesn't mean we don't discipline or we don't interact or don't correct. But Jesus means that we have hope, that we have light. So our countenance, our smile is huge. And then the second part of the verse, and his favor is like a cloud of spring rain. Spring rain, in that area of the world, that Mediterranean area, there's basically two times of rain. And the first one are the spring rains. The spring rains coincide with when the crops are planted. Without the spring rains, there is no life. So a year, there's no plants. So in a year when the spring rains were late or didn't come, it meant more than just, dry ground. It meant the food didn't come. So the king's brightness, the king's countenance, the light from his face means that the king knows life and light and is giving that. And his favor is healing. So this smile is huge. Your smile is huge. Your countenance is huge. Moses felt the weight of the sin of Israel in Numbers 20 and became discouraged with them. And it showed. And that discouragement is why the Israelites could not enter into the promised land. It wasn't that he was approving of their sin and of whining and complaining. That's life. That's the way they were. His job was not to reflect the Israelites' sin. His job was to reflect the beauty and the glory of God. So parents, the gift that you give with the light of your smile, with the genuine joy that you have, the happiness that you have of being God's child, and then being chosen by God to show your children the bounty of his light in your life. That's the gift that your smile represents. And that's a beautiful thing. And we can give that gift when we're tired, when we feel stress, all the rest of it. If God is my center point, if the Holy Spirit is my source of energy, if his word is my delight, it brings light to the eyes, then I can smile to my children and receive them and love them with a bright, warm countenance, face that lets them know that you're mine. I love you. I'm committed to you, whatever. And your smile and your graciousness, that represents life to them, literally. So you see, we have a reason to smile. And it's a precious gift. So you think about that today. That's gift number one. Tomorrow in the morning, we'll look at gift number two, a listening ear. Again, thanks so much for being here today, and the Lord bless you.